flat. But defense companies have been buzzing in trade today as the government has given its approval to projects worth 80,000 crores in the defense space. To talk about the possible impact of this decision, we are now joined by G.K. Pillai, MD and CEO of Walchandnagar Industries, the stock that's been doing quite well. Mr. Pillai, hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hi, if you could tell us the kind of opportunity that exists for a company like Walchandnagar, and if you could quantify that for us.
Yeah, definitely, because the news which came yesterday with regard to the government clearing projects in the defense sector for almost 80,000 crores, I'm sure it's a big fillip for both the Indian industries as well as for the defense sector itself. And we at Walchandnagar are beyond with this decision of the government, as we feel that the Indian industries who are capable of meeting many of the defense equipment related activities will get a fillip, and our business and our capabilities could be better utilized by the country. So that is in short. But to quantify the things for a company like Walchandnagar Indudtries Limited, who have been mainly into the defense sector we have been more doing work on an R&D basis, on a single product basis where indigenization has been required. This opportunity will really help us to grow our defense business from the present existing about 25 to 30% what we do now of our total sales. We are hopeful that we'll be able to increase it to almost doubling it from 25% to almost 50% in a share of our business.
Okay. Mr. Pillai, just to get a better understanding in terms of how Walchandnagar would benefit from this, can you give us a sense in terms of what would be the defense orders that you would possibly gain from? You spoke about research and development, but can you give us more specifics in terms of what would be the order that, and where would you come into the value chain, and which segment would it be? Would it be manufacture of submarines? Would it be other sort of defense mechanisms or manufacturing that you would be gaining from?
Yeah, definitely, because at present what we do, as I said, on a one-off basis, more on an R&D basis through the DRDO. But once this opening up of which is happening, we are more keen to work on the submarines. That has been one of our strength areas. We do some work for the nuclear submarine also. We also are looking at the ATGMs, that is, which again the government has decided for opening up. We will be working along with both BDL as well as the foreign collaborators, and the launchers and containers which are there, which we feel will be more on in the light of Walchandnagar's existing manufacturing technology. So these are the three major areas what we are now looking at. And to add to what I said, as a company we have been primarily looking into, we have been the sugar and cogen power, and we are actually trying to change our focus to defense and nuclear segment. So this really will help us to move very fast in the direction of being a very specialized manufacturing setup in the country for the defense and nuclear setup.
Mr. Pillai, so if you could quantify that in terms of your top line and bottom line, what kind of growth numbers can your shareholders expect over the next 3 to 4 years?
You see, at present what we do almost about 150 to 170 crores worth of equipment manufacture for the defense segment. Our game plan is in the next 3 to 4 years, we would like to increase this number to almost about 1,000 crores in the defense segment. And we are planning two ways. One, within the existing framework of what Walchandnagar manufacturing capabilities are there, to work along with various partners to manufacture equipment for them. And at the same time, we are also looking at new collaborations, new technologies, which we are open for a joint venture in this segment to manufacture many of the items within the country.
Okay. There is news that there will be 6 submarines which will be indigenously produced. So would you partake, or would you maybe bid for the production or for the manufacture or supplying of some parts? Can we assume that would be something that Walchandnagar would possibly look at?
Definitely, because these 6 submarines which are going to come, obviously we are not into the manufacture of the submarines, but definitely whoever gets it, there are 3 or 4 strong contenders within the country itself. So we will be partnering with them for supplying various parts, various components for the submarines. So we hope that we should be able to play a very important part in whoever gets these orders for the submarines.
Okay, since we haven't really spoken about the defense sector as much as we are these days, Mr. Pillai, I just wanted a couple of more questions with regards to understanding the opportunity. So, for example, when you do bid for a defense order, how much of competition do you actually see within the space? Who would be your key competitors? And what sort of margins would you then possibly have in the defense space?
In the defense segment, the manufacture of equipments was very restricted, as it is. As I said, mainly the manufacturing activities were coming through the R&D activities of DRDO and the DRDL. But on a large-scale manufacture, it has been very much restricted. As you all know, the defense segment within the country has been in a very closed-loop activity. So what we now feel is that, yes, with the opening up of many of these segments, there will be more players, but the key top players will be very few and far. So we do hope that people who have been in this business, like Walchandnagar Industries, or there are many others, some of them like L&T and some others are there in this segment, I'm sure all of them will be able to play a major role in the government's indigenization program. And added to it, the Prime Minister's Make in India program will help the Indian manufacturing sector to come forward and manufacture more equipment.
Okay.
Just to add on that, till now, many of the things, even the offset policy which we had till now was not a very open offset policy, because even a software could be deemed as an offset, and the Indian manufacturing sector was not having much benefit of the offset. Now, with this Make in India program, I'm sure this will really help people who have put up large manufacturing facilities, companies like Walchandnagar Indudtries Limited.
Okay, but Mr. Pillai, would you require any kind of technical tie-up with any other company to cater to the kind of orders that will come in future now?
Definitely, because see, one of the most important aspects which this government has done is increasing the FDI limits to 49% in the defense segment or in the defense sector. I'm sure new technologies will have to be brought within the country, and I'm sure again good companies who have a parentage in the defense segment like Walchandnagar will have to partner these foreign parties, so that the technology can be brought in within the country, and at the same time manufacturing can be done within the country. As I said, we are now open to even having joint ventures with foreign partners, so that a separate defense manufacturing setup can be set up by us. Just to add further on that, we, apart from our major manufacturing facilities, what we have at Walchandnagar, which is in the Pune district, we also have plans to set up manufacturing facilities in Dahej, where we have acquired sufficient land on a on a waterfront land for setting up of new joint ventures, which will be catering exclusively for the defense and nuclear segments.
This JV that you spoke about that you might be interested in, Mr. Pillai, any preliminary talks, any approaches, anything concrete that you can speak about?
No, definitely we have had good talks with many of the foreign partners. Some of them have already visited us at Walchandnagar and Pune for detailed discussions. We are very hopeful that in the coming 3 to 6 months, you'll be hearing a lot with regard to what we intend and plan to make a more direct foray into this defense manufacturing segment.
Okay. All right, fair enough, Mr. Pillai. We leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining in. So that's Walchandnagar, could be a beneficiary of all the defense orders that have got a thumbs up from the government, worth 80,000 crores cumulatively over the weekend. So that stock has spiked up intraday, up around 10% odd. The other